You are now listening to the Vitalize podcast. Hey yo, what up, family? Ooh, happy new year. It's a new year. It's a new beginning. It's a new energy. I hope you just wake up feeling brand new, new love, new life, new blessings, all the things, man. New. Waking up feeling new. Hey, somebody say brand new. Okay, I had to say it too. But I'm excited to be here, man. I'm excited for lots of things. Thank you guys so much for the love and support on the last episode. Listen, man, this is officially season 6 of the Vitalize podcast. And listen, I need a favor from you. So if you're brand new here, somebody shared this with you, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We'll exchange the pleasantries. I am Marcus Black, also known as M Black Speaks, your friendly neighborhood host. This is the Vitalize podcast, and we are a community, a collective of people who are all about giving life. That's what the word vitalize means. It means to give life to, or to endow with the vital signs of life. That means there's a lot of things in your life that might have been dead. You might feel like your career is dead. You might feel like your dreams are dead. You might feel like your relationship is dead. You might feel like whatever it is going on around you is dead. However, if you come to this place, then this is a place where things become alive again. We give life to things that were once perceived as dead. Wake them up so you can go and live your absolute best life. So, if you have not gathered yet, I communicate with a little bit of energy. So if energy's not your thing, I might not be for you. I always tell people, if I'm not your cup of tea, then go drink some coffee. If I'm not your cup of tea, go drink some coffee. But if you like energy, then this might be the place for you. And I'm glad you're here. Welcome. We just keep it real. We talk about a lot of different things. This isn't no micro niche. I'm not going to teach you how to become a mega millionaire. Now, you might get encouraged, inspired, or learn some things that make you a mega millionaire, but I'm not selling these pipe dreams or anything. I'm just here to help you. I'm here to bring life. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to uplift, edify, inspire, motivate, all the things. That's what we do. So, welcome, and I'm glad you're here, right? Now that we got that covered, I do need your help, though. So I need to hear from you what you want to see on this season. I don't think I've ever done this before. I don't think I've ever asked you what topics you want to hear me cover or what guests you want to see. So this is how we're going to do this. Because I'm sure many of you are going to reach out, and many of you will probably nominate yourselves, which is cool. Feel free, by all means. Nominate yourselves if you want to be a guest on the show. But what I'm going to do is take all the information I receive, all the data, all the messages that I receive, and I'm going to compile them into a list. And based on how many votes an individual gets, I'll start there, and then I'll work my way through the list. So, please don't feel bad if you nominate yourself and we don't make it happen immediately. It'll happen eventually, but I'm just letting you know how that's going to go. So that said, though, what do you want to hear about? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to learn about? What do you want to know? Is there something I've done? I mean, I could go on and on. I'm an award-winning international speaker, having done communities, traveled abroad and spoke in front of live audiences as well as virtually in Italy, virtually in the United Kingdom for hundreds of people. Been in front of tens of thousands of people live in the flesh. Sheesh, I've been in front of 25,000 people in the last 6 months, live on a stage, post-COVID. That's astronomical. So it's amazing. So you can ask me, we can cover topics about speaking, how to get started as a speaker, business, entrepreneurship, mindset, motivation. I was a person who had a full-time gig and it was a lot of stability and security. I left that and left it behind in the rear view and not a lot of certainty or not a lot of security. A lot of people said I was crazy, but here we are, living the dream. Podcasting. How do you do that? What does it look like? Want to start one? Want to get a show? Want to grow a show? Anything, family, relationships, you know what I'm saying? How do you stay motivated? How do you stay inspired? How do you learn to believe in yourself? Imposter syndrome. I'm just throwing stuff out, but I'm not here for that. You tell me what you want me to cover. So give me a list of what you want me to cover. Give me your top 3 things you want me to cover this season. What would you like to see me talk about? How you do that? You can go to my Instagram at mblackspeaks on Instagram and send me a DM. Send me a DM and I'll have someone going through and categorizing and putting these topics in order, and we'll go from there. And also, who do you want to see? In 5 seasons now, in the past, we've only had 5 or 6 guests on this show. And they're all people that are near and dear to my heart, all people I love, from Trent Shelton being the first ever guest on this show, Les Thomas Sr. being the second ever guest, my guy Eddie, shout out to you, Eddie, my Boo Bear, Rachel Black, Ashley Faye Brandstetter in the building, and Jordan Miller with Generation Y, my dear brother and friend. Also the mission that I'm co-laboring for, fighting for us, fighting teen suicide and teen bullying in schools. So that's the only guest we've ever had on the show. But you now get to say who you want to see, man. You want to see Trent Shelton come back on the podcast? Let me know. Make a list. I'll be like, bro, the people spoke. They want you back, you know? I got some other names in my pocket of a few people. There's a couple of NFL players I got access to. There's a couple of musicians. I ain't saying no names, but I think you'll be happy that I bring them on. And I want you to tell me who you would like for me to bring on. Got lots of relationships with lots of people, and we'll see what we can do. So that to say, now you're going to get this work. So there's a lot of things happening maybe in your mind and your heart. Some of you are like, man, the year ain't even got off to a good start yet. Like the year hadn't even got going good, and I already feel behind the 8 ball. I already feel like I'm not doing well. I already feel behind. I already feel like I'm losing. I already feel like it's going to be a tough year, and it ain't even started yet. And if you find yourself in that place, I want to stop you right now dead in your tracks. Stop it. You stop right now. Because I understand and I hear you and I feel you. Yes, maybe things didn't get off on the right foot. Maybe some drama or trauma carried over into the new year, but it is your choice whether or not you cling to that, hold on to that and drag it along with you, or you can stop it right now and say, you know what? I cannot control everything happening around me or outside of me, but what I can control is what happens inside of me. I can control what happens here in the control center, and I can control what happens here, right there in the heart. And if you can control what is controllable, you can set yourself up for success this year and beyond. So I really just want to come out the gate and give you a pattern interrupt. Like when you're spiraling, and you just feel like everything's going bad and you feel doom and gloom and you just feel out of control, you need a pattern interrupt. That's where something outside of your normal sphere comes into your sphere, shakes things up, and causes you to not focus on the thing you've been hyper-focusing on. Well, guess what? I'm your pattern interrupt today. That's what I'm here for, is to shake you and remind you that there is life. Life is beautiful. You don't got to find yourself in that place again. We ain't doing that, man. We leaving that stuff behind. We moving forward, onward and upward to bigger, better, brighter things. Speaking of, we won't be here long today because I know you guys got some things to do, some people to see, some places to be, setting up for an incredible, remarkable year. And I'm not even on this new year, new me, resolution, all of that stuff, man. You know, if you want to do that, that's great. I am a goal setter, definitely setting some goals. I set some big goals last year. I set a goal to do a TED Talk last year. Guess what? I didn't tell you this, official TEDx speaker. Woo snap. That's another topic we could talk about. Got the TEDx. I set a goal to get some recognition, some exposure. Wound up in Forbes magazine last year, along with LA Weekly, some other stuff. Listen, man, I'm telling you, these are goals that I set for myself and my business and my brand and my movement, and I crossed them all off, and so we're setting goals again. So if you have not set goals, if you have not, why not? It's time for you to figure out where you want to go. Listen, you're going to wind up somewhere. Everything is heading somewhere, but not everything is headed somewhere on purpose. Where are you headed? Where are you going to wind up? Are you going to wind up where you wanted to be? If I just got in the car and started driving, I don't know where I'm driving, and I want to go to LA, but I just started driving. Next thing you know, I wind up in Montana. I'm upset because I got to Montana, but I also didn't make a plan. I didn't use a map or a GPS. I just started driving. And next thing you know, I'll get all the way to Wyoming before I realize we're not in Kansas anymore. Not only are we not in Kansas anymore, this is not at all where I wanted to go. How can I be upset that I didn't wind up where I wanted to go if I didn't set an intention to go where I wanted to go? That to say, your year is not going to wind up where you wanted to land when we are at this same place a year from now if you aren't intentional right now on the front end by making plans and setting intentions for what you're going to do with your year. Now, we know plans can change, and there are things outside of your control that affect plans, like the economy, like COVID happening. We can't foresee none of that stuff. None of us could foresee a couple years ago a worldwide shutdown. We couldn't see it. But it happened. Okay, so then you deal with it and you do the best you can. And some people folded and some people blew up during COVID, depending on how they viewed the opportunity. And so what I'm telling you is there are going to be things that happen. We can't predict what's going to happen. There could be some bad things that happen. World War III could happen, God forbid, but it could. And this caused the economy to be shaken in a way that's so severe that inflation rises even higher. We like, golly, man, we already can't afford groceries. How we gonna do anything more if the economy, something's gotta give, something does have to give. What I'm saying is, you can't control that. You can't control none of that. So why even try? Why put yourself in this place? You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about that. All you can control is you and what you're gonna do. So you run the play that you call for yourself. This is a sports analogy. Shout out to the sports people in the audience. You show up and you do the thing that you plan to do. And then when things happen, then you adjust. I heard it said by a wise person once, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. You find yourself where you got to adjust, be flexible. It's okay. I know you set a plan. You feel like you're off a little bit, feel like you're a little bit behind. That's okay. You just keep pushing. One foot in front of the other, one day at a time, one step at a time, onward and upward towards your goals. I hope this is encouraging you. I hope we're getting your mind right. We got to get your mind right. Because if you get your mind right, I thought I told you. Lil John said, get your mind right. I got that song in my head now, and I want to start rapping it, but it's not appropriate for the conversation we happen. Just know, gotta get your mind right. You get your mind right, we be onward towards where we want to go, moving with intentionality. Then, once we get there, you locked in, you agree? You better agree. You say, I agree, you agree. Okay, when you see me post snippets of this on my Instagram, that's another thing. You're going to get a lot more of that stuff, a lot more content coming. My goal this year, my biggest goal is to grow this podcast. It's already a top 3% globally ranked podcast. I think we can jump into top 1% in the world. You know how crazy that is? That might be a crazy, audacious goal. I went and looked at the podcasts that are in the top 1% in the world. It's all super big, super huge celebrities. But guess what? I think this community is powerful enough with your listenership, with your ears, with your shares. We got thousands of y'all. If each one of y'all just shared it with one friend and said, check this out. I think this might encourage your heart. Guess what? We well on the way. We're going to make it happen. So if you do see a clip of this, then go on there and say, I agree. I agree with what he's saying. We're going to do this. We're doing it. We on the way. That's how I know you came from the podcast. I want to give you 3 things as I depart from you this day, but never from your presence. I want to give you 3 things that I think will really set the intention, to help you set the intention. Because we're talking about setting intention, setting goals, moving with intentionality. But I want to give you 3 things to do, because we always want to make it plain. I want to make it simple, right? It's easy for you to say set goals, set intention. What does that look like? How do I do that? You know, there's SMART goals. There's all these different methods that you can Google. But I really want to help attack your mindset, because there's 3 of y'all right now that's listening to the sound of my voice and already making excuses for why everything I'm saying can't happen. If only he knew. He don't understand how bad it is. He don't know how behind I am on these bills. He don't know how hard it is, or how sick I am, or how he don't know. You're right. I don't know. But what I do know is that you're stronger than you think you are. What I do know is that you're better than you think you are. I do know that you got what it takes in the tank, and it's up to you to put the gift on the table to go maximize and make it do what it do. It's on you. And I'm here to guide you along the way to do that, encourage you, inspire you. So you do these 3 things, and I'm going to help you along the way. All right, capiche? All right, let's get it. So, number 1, the first thing I need you to do in 2024. Wow, it feels weird even saying that. 2024. We made it, man. I know there's a time in 2020 we didn't know if we would make it. We didn't know if none of us would make it. We all made it. Look at us. You're here today. You're under the sound of my voice. That means you made it. Be proud. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Stop being so dang hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. We made it to 2024, and the first thing I need you to do in 2024 is dream big. Dream big. And then there's a part of you that came into this world bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with big dreams. You were a little kid that thought anything. I know my kids telling me some stuff sometimes about going to space and going to Saturn, and the first thing in my brain as an adult is like, that's never gonna happen. But why not? I don't, look how fast technology is evolving. What? Self-driving cars, artificial intelligence can do anything you wanted to do. Like, it's crazy. I had artificial intelligence create me a t-shirt design the other day. I just said, hey, I want to make me a design XYZ. I just said some stuff, just playing, and the thing created a work of art. I'm like, okay, this is kind of scary. So who am I to put a limiter on what can happen in the future, the way technology is advancing? But he has not yet been affected by life with people telling him what he can't do. And I wouldn't dare say it's not possible to him. That's my own limiting beliefs. But that boy want to go to Titan, the moon of Saturn, then he can go to Titan in the future. But life is going to somewhere along the way come along and start telling him, you can't do that. That's not possible. No one's ever done that. Guess what? No one had ever done a lot of things before they did. Oh, snap, what? No one had ever seen a smartphone before Steve Jobs and his team innovated and created. Like, there's a lot of things that never happened until they did. So that's just something for you to realize that, like, just because no one's ever done it is not a reason for you to limit or minimize or reduce your own dreams. No one from where you're from ever made it. No one in your family ever made it. No one in your family ever seen $1 million in one bank account at a time. But just because they never seen it and it never happened don't mean it's not possible. And you got to stop limiting yourself and squelching your own dreams, self-sabotaging because of what you've been taught by the world. You got to be like those kids will tell you some stuff, man. They just be talking about all type of stuff. Listen to them and how they think and the imagination they have. And we all had that once. You had that once. Somebody spit on your dreams and somebody doused you with water and they put out your fire. And now they got you questioning yourself. Now they got you questioning if you got anything really to give. Now they got you questioning if it's really possible. Now they got you saying your dreams don't even matter because you got to put food on the table. So you're going to keep going to this job that you hate that's sucking the life out of you every single day because it don't matter. You just got to do what you got to do. Well, guess what? You do got to do what you got to do temporarily. But it ain't nothing stopping you when you at the house Netflix and chilling or scrolling through social media, thumbing, looking at what everybody else doing. Nothing is stopping you from starting your side hustle right then and right there. Nothing's stopping you from putting your first foot forward. Nothing's stopping you from going and make that. This started as a side hustle. Now, yes, I do get paid. But when I started this, I had a full-time job that required a lot of me. And I would get in where I fit in, when I could, how I could, where I could, and make it work. Before I even started the podcast, every morning before I go to work, I would get outside and hit a lake and go record a couple videos, and I might record 4 at a time. Take me an hour to do that. You know how fast I could do 4 videos today? I could do 4 videos in 4 minutes because of repetition. But when I started, it took an hour. I'm doing rep after rep. I might post a reel online where you can see me messing up again and again and again and again. Everybody got to start somewhere, though. But the point is, stop limiting yourself and saying, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have resources. You have what you need. Stop making excuses about what you don't have. You see this? Look at this quality. Look at me, man. You see my face in 4K, ultra high def. You see it? It's beautiful, right? But even a place where I am, shout out to Rose Records, it wasn't always this way. It wasn't always multiple cameras. Shoot, in the beginning, it was no cameras. In the beginning, it was us in a room. Now we're in a studio. Some of y'all that's been around, you've been watching this. Shout out to the YouTube community, by the way. If you haven't, go subscribe to the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy. And watch this there, share it out with your friends as well. You can see the visual. You can see my beautiful mug in 4K. This wasn't always the case. This wasn't always a place. The studio has moved. You see the surroundings are changed because we in a dope spot downtown. This wasn't always the case. But it would have never been the case had my man's, shout out to him, Taylor Moore, had not followed his dream, followed his heart, trusted his intuition, and built something that did not exist from the ground up. So to see that happen every step of the way is like, no, I ain't even gonna say a number how much equipment is in here. Just know it's in the tens of thousands of dollars of equipment. And you see it and it like looks really cool, but guess what? We didn't have that in the beginning. He did not have any of this stuff, but that didn't stop him from starting. That didn't stop him from using the knowledge he did have and figuring out how to build and how to grow and how to expand to get to this point where he needed all this stuff because his clientele has grown to the point that he can't function without it. But you sit here and you disqualify yourself and all I hear is, I don't have, you don't understand. I don't have time. Okay. I don't have time. I don't have money. Nobody had that stuff when they started. So if you're going to keep making excuses, then you don't really want what you say you want. And I hate to challenge you here this fine beginning of this brand new year, but it is what it is, fam. I got to let you know, if you really want it, life is very short and you're going to find a way to get it because life is way too short for you to be sitting here talking about what you don't have. Guess what? You're going to blink and your time is going to be up and then you're going to look back and be like, dang, what if I had tried? What if I had gone and given a little effort? What if I did a little research? What if I just took 30 minutes a day that I was just thumbing on social media? Look at your screen time and see how much time you spend on TikTok and Instagram and ask yourself, is that time you're spending on those apps, is it productive? Are you creating on those apps? Because when I'm on the app, I'm creating. I'm not scrolling. So my screen time is a reflection of the time I spend writing captions and editing content and doing stuff. It's not me just thumbing. So if you got 30 minutes on that screen time that you just spend thumbing and looking at what everybody else is doing, you can subtract that 30 minutes looking at what everybody else is doing and start doing and working on what you're doing because your dreams matter. And don't limit yourself in your dreams. Don't say, well, I really want this, but I'm not going to say that because that's not possible. So I'm going to say what's possible. All things are possible and probable if you don't give up, if you try, if you go and learn and you grow, you have a growth mindset, you develop, you adjust, you adapt, you find your way. I want this for you. I want you to dream big. How do I dream big? That means I want you to get by yourself and I want you to eliminate the distractions. I'm making it plain. Turn off the phone, turn off the TV. No distractions. If you got kids, you need to go in your closet or go in your bathroom. Sometimes you can't even get a break in your bathroom, but you need about 15 to 20 minutes to do this properly. And you need to silence the noise completely. And you need to ask yourself, what is it that you really want to accomplish in this life? If you could do anything in this life and you could get paid to do it. Before I wanted to really become a content creator, I wanted to create things that help people and go speak and use my story to help people. And now I get paid to do that. I'm about to be paid in a few days to do that. The year just started. I'm already about to get my first paycheck, not a week into this year, for doing this. But that wasn't the case when I started. But I had to start. You ain't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. You get in that room and you ask yourself, if you could get paid to do anything in the world, what would that thing be? And don't limit yourself. And you put it on, you write it down. Because if it's up here, it's a pipe dream. It becomes a real dream and not a pipe dream when you take it from your mind and you put it on paper. Then when you start to strategize and map out things you can be doing right now, it goes from a dream to a goal. And goals are attainable. You break that goal down little by little, next thing you know, you're well on your way. But when you say the thing you want to do that you would love to get paid to do, thoughts are going to come into your mind immediately why you can't do it and why it'll never work. Those are the thoughts you have to silence. Write those down too on a separate page and then put an X out of them. Because visually, you're telling your brain, no, I am canceling these lies that are telling me I can't do it. I dare 10 of y'all to do this. I dare y'all to do it. Matter of fact, I dare 50 of y'all to do it. It's way more of y'all than that. I dare 50 of y'all to do it. Put it on paper. Write your dreams on one side. Write the things that are holding you back, the limiting beliefs on the other side, and put an X through those and post them on your Instagram story and tag me in them. I dare you to. I'll reshare every single one of them, all 50 of y'all. I'll reshare every single one of them. And people going to be like, dang, what they doing? And I'll tell them what we did. And then they're going to have to go watch the podcast or listen to it like you did so they can do the exercise. Maybe we'll go viral for doing something positive in the world. Who knows? But when you do that and you cancel out those limiting beliefs, then you start to feel good because you got something to look forward to again. You got something to cling to again. Your dream matters. Your dream is attainable if you're willing to go get it. Listen, after you dream big, number 2, for those of you taking notes, he said he had 3 things. Number 1 is dream big. Number 2 is live bold. Live bold. When I started this journey, I dreamed big. I said I want to be one of the biggest speakers in the world one day. I want to work with some of the top, best, brightest minds in the industry, people I've been looking up to. And I'll be doggone if there wasn't a path between God orchestrating plans and me living bold to where I wound up peers with some of the greatest speakers in the world that I can call right now. In this podcast, I could call. When I need something, I can call. When I need advice, I've been coached by the greatest minds in the world. I think of when I first reached out to Trent Shelton. Shout out to you, my brother. Many of you found me through Trent Shelton. You heard me on his podcast. Loved being on his podcast. Been on his podcast twice. He's been on my podcast. I think I ask y'all who y'all want. I guarantee his name is going to be the number 1 most requested person. I just already know it. So you'll see him back. I'm sure you'll see him back on the podcast this season. But living bold was me finding his itinerary on his website, following his IG, figuring out what city he was going to be in, and sending him DMs, not asking him for nothing. I hope y'all hear me clearly. I wasn't sending him DMs asking him for anything. I was sending him prayers and saying, hey, I know you're in this place. I'm praying for your mind, that you'll have clarity in your thought. I'm praying for your message. I'm praying for your health and your strength, and I'm praying for maximum impact in that crowd. And I started doing that every city he was at. And my wife started saying, stop being weird. He gonna think you a stalker. And I said, I understand that. That's how most people would think. But something tells me I just want to invest in that relationship. So when the time came, and when I said, okay, I'm going to live bold. I want to learn from you. I want to learn from the best. I know there's a lot of people clamoring for your attention. I don't want your attention. I want you to show me the way, and I want to invest in that. How much does it cost? I don't care. You name a number, I'm going to pay it. Now, I'm saying this, but I ain't have no money, but I figured it out. And I invested in his services, and that changed the game for me forever. But that was bold. That was bold to ask. That was bold to follow. It was bold to put myself out there. People that were close to me were afraid that I was going to get my feelings hurt. And I'm like, if I do, I do. I don't care. Feelings can recover. But if I lose taking a chance, that's a loss I'm willing to roll with. But if I win, it changes the game, and I won. Because I approached it the right way with love, respect from a genuine place. And that bold decision changed everything for me. The money I invested in paying him, I have made 100-fold over the years since I started working with him. And that's no cap. And so I say this to say, what bold decision do you need to make to change the game for you? You are one bold decision away from changing your life. What is the decision you need to make? Some of y'all feel like, man, I've been needing to start that podcast. Man, I've been needing to write that book. Man, I've been needing to go back to school. Man, I've been needing to take that class. I've been needing to start that LLC so that I can get a vehicle for my business so I need to get this computer through my business. I need to get this business credit card, not so I can be frivolous, so I can really start to invest in my dream. What is the bold choice you need to make? And do it. Don't sit on it. Don't think about it. Don't think yourself out of it and why it won't work, giving yourself all the reasons it won't work. You can play the what if game both ways. What if it don't work? What if everything goes wrong? What if it does work? What if it changes your life forever? What if it changes your life for generations? What if your children's children are blessed because of your one bold decision? Live bold. Make the choice. You already put on paper what you want. Now you start breaking that thing down and seeing what needs to happen in order to make that a reality. The bold choice I needed to make, number one, the first choice was asking, can I work with him? The second bold choice, I ain't had the money to pay. I asked some people who I knew believed in me and told me, they said, if you ever need anything, we swear we got you. Well, I called in those favors and I said, hey, remember when you said, if I need anything, you got me? I reached out to 5 people and 4 of the 5 honored what they said. The 5th one, and I had no ill feelings. They just weren't in a position to do it. But the other 4 crowdfunded and raised the money I needed to take care of something that was on my, but that was bold to ask people. Man, it's tight for everybody. I could have talked myself out of it tenfold. Well, they got a lot going on like me. Man, you don't know until you ask. And if they say no, no hard feelings. But they say yes. Changed my life forever. Bold. What's the bold thing you need to do? The bold decision you need to make. What is it? And when you commit in your mind and your heart that you're going to dream your dream and you're not going to squelch your dreams, you're not going to self-sabotage, and you're going to actually start taking steps, because living boldly is all about taking steps. That's the thing I'm asking you to do. I heard you talking for a lot and a long time. I did that. I used to live my life that way. I don't live my life that way no more. If I say I'm going to do something, we're going to do it. I told y'all we're going to become a top 1% podcast this year. Stand on it. Watch it happen. Watch when I report to you at the end of the year. I don't even know how many listeners we got to have. I don't know how many countries we got to be. I don't know, but I know that we're going to do it. Watch. We're going to do it because I'm going to take action. I'm going to run some ads on the podcast so new people who never heard it before can hear it and be like, dang, I didn't even know this existed. I'm going to put action behind the words I'm saying. I'm going to make some bold decisions. Will every ad hit and return on that? No, it won't. But that's living bold. And it's about taking appropriate risk, not throwing your life away, not draining your life savings, but instead of me going out to eat and give me a nice steak, I'm going to take that $50 and I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to put it behind the business and put some weight behind this and watch this thing grow, because this quality, listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to this. You can hear every snap, crackle, and pop. Listen to it. Look at it. If you're watching on YouTube, 4K, high def, ultra, this quality is unmatched. Why would I not put this into the masses' hands? It's only a matter of time for the podcast. Before those people you want on the podcast is lining up asking me. I already got a few hundred people that want to be on the show. And I just haven't really wanted to commit to the guest thing. But just wait. The amount of people that want to be on the show is going to go crazy. We're going to be out here like Ed Milet. Watch. I said it. It's recorded. It's captured. Watch it happen. Because we're going to put action behind it. Ain't no talking, fam. We going ham. We about to go get it because we can. And the last thing I need you to do, if you're tracking along, you're taking notes, number 1, dream big. Number 2, live bold. The last and third and final thing, this year and beyond, this is the mantra. This is my mantra this year, and I want you to adopt this as your mantra. I'm giving everything but up. Give everything but up. What does that mean? It's self-explanatory. Take a second and think about it. If you ask yourself, have you really been given everything? What does it mean to give everything? I remember when I played my last football game ever. And there was all these guys around. We were all sitting on the ground crying. I shed tears. I shed a couple G tears, and I really felt it in my heart. But I walked off that field, and I hung up my cleats with pride because I knew I left it all on the field. I had nothing left. I could barely walk. I played. I didn't hold nothing back. I sold out every single play. I gave everything I had. So I had no reason to hang my head. I was giving my all. And one day, every single one of us, another sports analogy, every one of us is going to have to hang up our cleats. You're going to get to the end of this game called life, and it's going to be time for you to hang them up. And the question on the table is going to be, did you give everything? Did you max out? Did you play full out? Are you leaving this earth with no regrets because you gave everything you had? Because you put your all into your craft? Because you maximized every potential opportunity, every potential crease and crevice, and you explored every single option towards success in this life? Or did you excuse your way out of purpose? Did you victim your way out of purpose? Did you just blame everybody else, never take accountability, never focus on what you do have rather than what you don't, never focus on the positive? Or did you stay locked in, telling me the same old thing, singing me the same sad song? You don't get a do-over in this life. You only get one shot at this. And I ain't yelling at you, but I gotta say it with my chest because it matters. Because you matter. Because your life matters. Miles Monroe, shout out to you. Rest in paradise. Said the richest place in the world is the cemetery from all the people who took their goals and dreams with them in it. And I don't want you to be in that list. I don't want you to be in that number. So what I'm asking you to do is starting today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next quarter, today, to start giving everything. But the one thing on that list you ain't gonna give, you're gonna give everything but up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. You've been stabbed in the back. Don't give up. You've been beat down. Don't give up. You've been kicked while you're on the ground. Don't give up. You had people talking about you and saying things. Don't give up. You had people close to you betray you and hurt you. Don't give up. You feel like there's no possible way things can work out. Don't give up. You lost that job and that career that you put so much time and energy and effort into. Don't give up. The business and the idea that you started before folded. Don't give up. You ain't seeing the traction that you want to see online. Don't give up. Your followers ain't growing like other people's. Don't give up. You're not willing to sacrifice your morals and your standards. Don't give up. Whatever you do, you give everything to your dream, and you commit in your heart this moment to not give up. And if you commit to give everything but up, I am telling you that this year will be the beginning of the rest of your life. Yes, it will, but this will also be the beginning of the most epic story that you could ever tell. When your great-grandchildren read the story of you, they're going to be able to tie it back to a moment where you made a choice, and the choice you made was to be all you can be. The choice you made was to rise above every adversity that was holding you back. The choice that you made was to step up and show out and become everything you were meant to be. So ain't no more waiting, ain't no more excuses, ain't no more victim, ain't no more shaming yourself, blaming yourself, ain't none of that. What it is now is getting up, rising above, and get out and go be great. Go be all you were meant to be, give everything you got to the dream, never give up, and go be great because you can.